Sunday afternoon, getting there towards the end of March. So I don't know what date it is. I think 20th, 21st, Mother's Day anyway. So happy Mother's Day, everybody. Just in the parlour at the moment. I thought I'd do a little video because the sun's shining and everything looks better when the sun's out, doesn't it? Except from our size clamp, that is. We're nearly done. So we're getting on through it. It's not much. One bay left, I reckon. So you could say, well, spring's just around the corner and we've got a nice bit of grass out in the field too. But winter can still come back. And especially on this farm, where it's so dry and we're organic and we graze quite early, we can run out of grass quite quickly, even if there's loads out in the field, because these cows eat grass for fun. So we're keeping a lot of hay and whatnot going into them. The cows are looking really good condition actually, nearly too good actually. I'll show you a cow like this one here, see? Quite a fattish sort of looking animal. So yeah, that might pose a little bit of a problem when we come to serve them, but it is a couple months out. I'm going to pull the serving back. We're not going to serve to at least the 15th of May this year. That takes us nearly to March calving, because it's, I think it, like with the seasonality and all that, we're losing out on good money going in the autumn. So we still want to get milk from spring grass, but we want them, like we ain't got no trouble with tight blocks because we got 3 farms and we can spread the cows about willy-nilly. So I think that the cows work better on that system, especially on a seasonality, they're hitting us on, because we get hit enough as it is. We're always going to have to feed these cows a bit of cake because the grazing is so up and down all the time, especially organic. Like summer's either dry or wet, aren't they? They're never like perfect. Might get the odd one. Right, this is the parlour. There's all the cows coming in at the moment. Absolutely stuffed at the moment. They've been out on grass day and night for the last 2 days. So they're full right up. They were in all last week. Most of last week anyway. So they've really gone out and they've gone hardcore on the grass. Milk's picking up. Got a lot of 7.5 litres this afternoon. 7.6 there. 8 litres there. So they're going up. They're going to be up around 20 litres a day per cow any time now. Emma's trimming tails today. Get all this muck off them. See that? Rub all that off. Just trimming that up. Where they've been getting on the deep little sheds. So since we've got some dry work too. Next week's looking pretty wet though, so another week, but we can't complain. The grass is going to grow. Sub parlour, I don't think I ever showed you. Back car over the head. Automatic cluster removers, ACRs. GEA dishes here. So they come from the old parlour. Forward wash plates, because we like, they're solid. You know, the back car one's a little bit flimsy, so we went for day. So we've got 24 a day all the way down through. Built this on quite a budget. It's a GEA framework. So what we've got our deal on, we've got a cheap gates on the front. We ain't got their like scissor action jobs because they were about £4 at the time, and they were about 600 quid each. So I went for a. So it's a little bit slower milking, I suppose, because you've got to do this. You've got to drive a whole side out and let a whole side in. When on those scissor gates, you can just like funnel through and shut it just as the last one comes up. But no, like we put this plastic in down there instead of painting. Put plastic in. That's good stuff. That is really chuff at that. If I do a parlour again and do that, it just looks like it just stays clean. The muck just drops off it. Didn't do no painting on the walls because I thought we'd be committed to painting then. I thought that's washable walls, those concrete panels. And then we put that in about a year later, that see-through roofing stuff there, roof sheets, because too much rain was blowing in. This side here is already full. We boarded that out with wood. So pretty simple system really. Got to drive some cows in. They're full up, see, they're not walking in. Go on in. Go on. Just get one going in, they all go in. Go on. There we go. Put Yorkshire boarding up along the front here. Concrete panels down that side. Yeah, no painting. So we can just like, so really, because if once we've painted it, we've got to commit to painting it. Like I know you paint it once and it's all right for about 10 years, but at least we ain't got to paint it again. Got all our light switches for all the sheds. I had them wired up there, so when I walk out part at night and flick all the light switches on for the sheds in the winter, we'll just flick them all off. I thought that was quite good actually when we've done that, when the electrician's here, because we had light switches just all over the place. We had to walk around everywhere, switch them on. And I said, right, wire them all of there, because we're in the parlour all the time. This is our main like place where we're to most of the time. Works really well. You've got these milk filters here, what we check all the time. See that? So I have had a problem with mastitis this year, but it hasn't been like your normal mastitis with clots. It's been subclinical. And we get that now and again. Now, last year we had no trouble at all. We calved in, the cell count never went over 150, what was great. This year we have been creeping up, and we've been up to 300. Like, I think we have been over 300 a few times, but don't like going over too much. It has been a real struggle to bring down. Got it down now, but still 190 now. Usually with a cow's out, you're talking like 100, 120, but a lot of times, especially these cows, so we're gonna have to keep a real eye on it. So they're all gonna start bulling before long, and then it can, especially in wet weather, it can tend to creep up a bit more. So yeah, no, we're after really keep an eye on it. Right, this side's in, I'm gonna feed them a bit. So we feed them, can't quite see because the sun's shining through, but we feed them in batches of 4. So every 4 cows we've got this, we pull it down, really like real easy system. Ball system, you've got a heavyweight ball in there, you see that wiggling up and down. There's a ball in the bottom, you pull the string, the ball lets kick drops. Again, I think never lost. Now I'm going to start putting them on. These front gates actually, they're run on air compressor, not vacuum. What's quite cool, because when we're TB testing, we ain't got to turn the parlour on. If we run the cows in, say we start TB testing at 8 o'clock after milking, or whatever, like we run all the cows on the one side and just run on air vacuum, not have to turn the parlour on. Well, I think it's quite cool. Now I do that, if we've done another parlour somewhere else, I definitely have that like channel along the front there, so I can go in front of the cows. Because it's so good this time of year, say you've got a cow comes in dodgy or milk fever or something, stand in the front and do them. Like ear tagging, drenching, just anything. They're just there bunched up, and it's just spot on. Like when we did it, didn't know it was going to work. I thought, oh, and someone said to me, bloody cows are going to jump through into there, but they don't. If we did get one anyway, I'd like unbolt this feeder and have them out, because they can't get out up front because there's an arse shooter. But touch wood, we haven't had it yet. Fingers crossed, because it would be a nightmare if we did. The actual through flow, like the cow flow of this parlour is great. Especially in the summer, they're just like all walk in, all walk out. And I blame it on open front and open back. Because it's just like so light in there, they just funnel in. We have no trouble getting heifers in, we ain't got to get no gate in or anything like that. They just funnel on in. And then in a minute, I'm going to let the cows go because they're going to go back out at night, and they're just rush out there, and they're just rush in, rush out. So like, that's a hell of a lot less stress. The cow flow, just straight in, straight out. Because that means like one person, like Emma, can milk here all on her own in the summer. Like, well, really, like next month onwards, once like cows are like fully calved in, like one person can just stroll on stress-free, nice and easy. Right, I'm about 3/4 of the way through milking, and I'm going to let the cows go a minute. So we've got plenty of this roughage going into them at the moment. They don't seem to be touching it because they're stuffed. But your one there eating it. Because we will suffer from grass daggers and whatnot going out on this longish grass. But I suppose they ain't got a lot of power in at the moment. So this farm, like I said, is nice and dry. It just free drains all the time. So we'll be alright in between showers as long as we get a bit of sun. Last week was a dodgy week because it was just wet and it was cloudy during the day. It didn't really dry out. But it's really pitched off today. So we're going to try to get, because we haven't really grazed a lot, and we want to get at least 60% of the farm grazed before we hit April. And then by the time we hit about the 10th of April, we want to get the whole farm grazed at least once, and then we get our milk from that grass afterwards. There they go. Keen to go out. They've got to go quite far tonight. It's a lot drier out that way. It's dry. It's all, they've been out there today. See, they ain't aired down that tight. They've left a fair bit of grass there. So we still got, we don't want to put them out there too early though. Like again, we want it like, you know, clean up a bit. Yeah, they're rushing on out. As long as they don't try. I got a fence too around the gateways. I'll show you that too when I go out there to shove in. Right, so I've got last cow in here, just holding her in. Emma's popping them on. This is what I said by feeders. Here's a cow what's just dropped down. So to get 3 kilos of milk and 6 kilos a day was quite a lot for us. Usually start them off on 5, but I thought it looked a bit poor in the spring, so I'll give them 6. And I strung their solids out a little bit. They're stuffed over there, you're not going to eat all that, I don't think. for that. They're not even. They get so much grass, they're not one bit interested. But this is the feeders I'm on about. Real cheap system. We adjust them like this on kilos, slide it up and down. You got pounds for the old boys, kilos for young lads. And then inside you just got this ball that's here. I'll pull this string here. That ball just stays down bottom. A lot of you know, a lot of you spring grazers, but people don't. The ball stops the cake going down in, and just press the button and fill it back up. There you go. You fill up ultra fast like that. You've got about 8 or 9 kilos, I think. Then we add the metal chutes instead of plastic ones, solid. And then just a long feeder here. And then it's got like little gaps underneath to wash the whole lot out. And this is the last one here. And it just washes out on the floor. So you do get the odd cow lean over and it try to eat its mate's cake, but as they get bigger and more bunched in throughout the season, they can't lean over too much. But they all get the same anyway. So you won't be able to go all year round calving, or you'd have to like put them in groups. So you'd have to, well you could, but you'd have to batch feed in there. If we ever went all year round calving up here or whatever, then we'd have to batch feed everything the same and then like pay it out down the barrier in 2 groups. There we go. We've got this adjustable rump rail in front here. So we've got them in quite a lot at the moment because we've got a lot of heifers. Like that one there, see. So pulled in. Now for TV testing, we put it right in, a bunch of them tight. But we'll pull that back before long when they fatten out a bit. And then we've got this curved rump rail. On the last parlour, we just had a straight rail. Now I probably would have a straight rail again because it makes absolutely no difference to cows moving about. They still move around, and it does take a bit of time for them to actually push in and line up. So if I had another parlour, I'd probably have a straight rail, just because it'd probably be cheaper and it's just like more easier and convenient. They still wiggle about, so it doesn't make no difference. She should be nearly done. It's a pressure calf heifer here. He can calve about 3 days. Gonna give about 4 litres a night. Heifer there, getting ready to go. I'm going to sort them out and put them in the shed. Freshly calved heifer here. Little Jersey folly looking heifer. It's got good condition about me. Little kickers in the parlour though, these sort of cows. Let's see how we get on with that one. Right, once we've milked the main herd, we've got the mastitis fresh calvers coming in. So we've got a lot of fresh calvers here, but we have got a few mastitis too. So one with mastitis, right, this one here, see, looks like fresh calver, like pretty fresh. This, I'll strip her out, I guarantee no clots at all. Bit kicky there. That front quarter, no dots, it's subclinical. All subclinical. If you look at cows, they look really like, you know, nice and clean and whatnot. But that's a fresh calver, that's a fresh calver, that's a fresh calver, that's a mastitis one, mastitis one, mastitis one, mastitis one. Fresh calver, fresh calver, fresh calver. That, I don't know what this one is actually, I think it's the mastitis one. Yeah, see, this one's mastitis, but it's just got a swollen quarter there. So we get them in the other group, we get them in this group, separate. I load them up on minerals and salt, like extra, like in all the water pots and everything. See, there's no sort of but he's coming in high cell count. So I just got to keep rubbing them in, and I jab them in the back, and then they should get better. It'll be 1 or 2 won't, 1 or 2 after 3/4. But we like, since we've got them in a group, so we ain't got to do no dump buckets now. I've just pulled a pipe on the tank, and it's all, we got a hell of a lot of calves feed, so I need a good 500 litres tonight just to feed the calves. So, but now they're in this group, see, I can cut, if I'm doing something else, so I can come on out when they go on this group, and I just go down through them one by one, and that's what I do. See, like a cow like this, it's a bit poor heifer. Coming high cell count. Just keep an eye on her. So start other minting up in a minute. This one here sees this swollen quarter. That's the problem with deep litter sheds. funny really, we do get cows and clots, but not very often. It's usually in the middle of the summer. Now it's swollen quarter, subclinical mastitis. The worst stuff really. You've got to have a real trained eye. This one here, see, chucking out purple thick milk. So that's why she's in this group. So I have to keep an eye on her. She ain't coming too well actually. So, but it's, yeah, that subclinical stuff, it's like you've got a real trained eye, look out for watery milk. One thing I've noticed though, is these are eating their cake a lot more than the others. So you can tell they're a bit like under the weather because they're notching their cake down when the others are stuck. So these want treated like, you know, like they've got a golden, like the golden fruit. You want to really look after them. So you want to get this group down, like real down. So I can just like feed the calves normal milk out the tank and feed them whenever I want. At the moment I've got to wait for these to be milked, then go feed the calves. But I still might not have enough milk yet for the calves, so I might have to get a bit more. Because can't get no, the first lot of calves we can get rid of is the 24th of March, so that's like next week, and then we can send on about 50 bull calves then, because they'll be 8 weeks old. But before, like, at the now, every calf's lived too, like, even with slip calves, in like, we've had 1 or 2 ill ones, I think we've only had 6 die over the whole lot, so we've got like 230 odd calves, I think, total. It's a lot. There she is. She ain't too bad actually. Take one and put them on. She goes in well too, she's fitting in well. It's going to be a nice cow next year too. Calved in well too, so you look at that. Yeah, big calf too. Right, so grazing's full on now. It's quite a tough year because we're getting a lot of rain at night. Getting a little bit of sun, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's drying out too much. So I'm just out in the field at the moment, fencing, splitting paddocks up and putting in like spur tracks. And a spur track is a track where you get the cows to walk along in a tight single file so they don't tread all the ground up. Underfoot though, it's not too bad. This is pretty good. We want to get some real proper grazing in now, because we ain't really done a lot. At 50 acres what we grazed in February, like the new lace, lovely and dry it was. They ate all that and that's all grown back. It's actually getting quite long. I was quite surprised. I thought, because I ain't been out and looked at it, and I thought no way it's that grown back this time of year. And then when I went out here, I thought bloody hell, it's some grass out here. So just on that like thought, I thought right, let's crack on with it. Let's get some cows out, let's get it all moving. So I've been grazing on and off in between showers, but we have to keep them in. But now they're going out whatever the weather, and we can do it, but we've got to do a lot of fencing. So other news, let's go gash on the side of my eye here. Bloody heifer kicked me in the head. Wouldn't believe it. Wasn't nowhere near her. And then I was just walking through the parlour. It's not like I was milking or anything, it's walking through the parlour. And she jumped and went absolute bazooka, booted me straight in the head. And then it didn't hurt, I didn't feel nothing. And then I woke up next morning, it was banging cold. Now I don't know if I caught it or the kick in the head's done it. Who knows? So that's what I'm doing this afternoon while Sam tin milk. I'm going round and setting up paddocks, getting ready for it. So look at this. This has all been grazed, see, through it. We're going to come through here now actually. Do that. It's just wire gateways everywhere on this farm. We've got no proper gates. It's all old arable ground. And we put these tracks everywhere. Look at this, see, we didn't even make much of a mess in February. Nah, it's growing well. So we've got 2 fields there to split up, 2 paddocks, 5 acres each. Another 2 here, I've got to split this one up. So that's 4 days. And then we've got this one out here. We spread a lot of muck on, but we've had a lot of rain. About 3 weeks ago we spread the muck on, we've had a lot of rain, so we should be alright. Where's that? It's on the move, see we ain't chucked no fur on or anything, it's all organic here. It's greened up well. So I've got to, at 50 acres of lay grass or something like that, I'm just going to check that now, see what it looks like. So let's go and have a looky. it's too wet for the cows out here. See, this is boggy-ish. If you're a sheep. But you won't want to send the cows out here. You're going to have to wait for some dry weather on that. The untouched ground is alright. It's good. See, that's why you don't want to graze everything in February. You don't, even when the weather's good, you don't want to run over everything. In case you hit a wet patch. Here we hit a wet patch and look. Nice bit of grass coming on, stuff in growth. But you can't get the cows on this. You've got to stick to that 4 days of grazing what's on the way, and I'll find some elsewhere unless it dries up. We're gonna have to get some dry weather to get back on that. This wagon going like tubes. Smooth? He's lighter, isn't he?
Eh?
So cool, he's lighter.
Better, but he's longer on the drawbar, isn't he? And you can back him up a hell of a lot better.
He's spawn, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
so
smart.
He's
a smart bit cut.
Conveyor belt we don't need really, we just need doors, don't we? But coming handy, and this back door we don't really need that, but that come handy if the conveyor belt broke, and then we could pay out at the back and then just push it side to side down the barrier. But he's good for hauling size around too, isn't he?
Yeah.
Fun. So we've got the 174 on it. He's off the loader at the moment. He's been off the loader a long time. Everybody seems to like driving that one around the farm, so we keep it on. But no, we've had about 4 days now. It's a nice tidy machine. So it's got 175 on loader. I think Charlie give it a clean off. A redundant cab huts there. We're going to burn someone or crush up. Right, he's just going to push that silage up. Well, he's just paid out. And then we're all done for the night.